Hi, hello. Sit down, let's talk. So, last time I said that for some reason people behind Scooby Doo are virtue signaling that Velma was always gay, because, you know, she was never explicitly straight. So, we've got a reason to virtue signal and appeal to the gays. And I didn't really know why are they bringing this up, but now I know. Recently, a new show came out, new cartoon, called Velma, I think. And there is Velma, and she's gay. And also, there are other characters, like Shaggy, who's black. Yeah, so in this show Scooby Doo, and subtitles or something like that, you know, we lacked representation. The show was named after the dog. And instead we really need to prop up the women by calling the new show Velma, making her gay, and then making Shaggy black. All this has been done so that Velma is gay, so that you can't complain the show is bad, because she's gay, and if you don't like the show, you're homophobic and sexist. And Shaggy is black, so you can't complain the show is bad, because you're racist. So that happened, the show came out, and of course, it's the worst, no one likes it. And since the companies always think ahead, because otherwise they don't have enough, they'll be wasting time not developing the new show, and the hype will be gone, so they won't be able to capitalize on it, I think. They were already contracted for having 2 shows. I mean, 2 seasons of the show. So they're already making the second season, and no one liked the first one, so they're just throwing the money into the dirt. Into mud. Yeah, and they can't do anything about it, and the show is bad, and the next show is gonna be bad as well, probably. But again, the gays and the colorful are just a shield for the corporations to block the criticism and force-feeding you their garbage. That is to say, bad writing for you to spend money on, to separate you from your money for them. That's the deal. Now we're gonna go into the second thing of being pushed on you to separate you from your money. But we're here and we're supposed to go into Korriban proper, because we need to find Solomon or something. Don't really remember. We had the cutscene, right, with Shadow flashback, and I was planning on talking to her to see where are we going now. So, Shadow, what are we doing now? And so more of my history is revealed to you. Solomon's death on Taris served as the point in which I finally freed myself of all bonds which still linked me to my old life in the Jedi Order. Yet I was wrong. Solomon is no longer a mere memory, but a very real threat. So yeah, we do have just more talking. And what are our dialogue options here? Do you believe Solomon could have survived the events on Taris? Solomon was a powerful warrior. Do you believe that he would have allowed death to claim him so easily? So, do you believe Solomon could have survived the events on Taris? Or Solomon was a powerful warrior. Do you believe Solomon could have survived the events on Taris? He was bombed. He fell over. I mean, Shadow took orbital blasts to the face as well. I commented on that during this happening in the cutscene, so we're just gonna go straight to the first one. Again, neither of them is more sarcastic or evil, so we're just pick whichever. Had he survived, he would have re-established a connection with the Jedi Order during the years since our encounter on Taris, yet our spies had never reported his presence on any world affiliated with the Jedi since his death. Oh, barely got it in time. Should we discover that Solomon is alive, what will you do? If Solomon is indeed alive, what will you do? Do not allow him to turn you against me. Yeah, the second is actually fucking different. Yeah, I'm going with the second. Don't let him turn you against me. You need to serve me forever and ever, sex slave. That is not possible, for I am your shadow, a servant of your will. This is of course a lie, since it's coming out of a woman's mouth. So, you'll see. Again, I said she's gonna turn to the light side, because Revan is supposed to canonically turn to the light side, so you are... what's the phrase? What's the word? You're saving her soul by getting her back into the flock of Jedi Order, essentially. Let's go with that. That's not the word I was looking for, but never mind. Solomon didn't approach you directly and instead manipulated an innocent man into attacking you. I sense that something devious is afoot. Manipulation is not the way of a Jedi Master. I have a bad feeling about this. I think the first one is more eloquent, so we're gonna go with that. Solomon didn't approach you directly and instead manipulated an innocent man into attacking you. I sense that something devious is afoot. If he is truly alive, then until we confront him, we cannot know for certain what his intentions are. Yes, if the messenger's words are to be believed, Solomon is heading towards a place named the Korban Wastes. Solomon is heading towards a region named the Korban Wastes. What do you know about this place? Yeah, that's actually getting some information, so let's go with the second. It has been some time since I last traveled here. I am not as familiar with Korban as I should be. Traveled should be with one L, I think? Actually? Like worshipped? Then we need to find out how he can reach the Korban Wastes. How we can reach the Korban Wastes, Korban. Then finding someone who knows Korban must be our priority. Yeah, let's go with second. I agree, Master, and believe that Dresde would be the best place to begin. Right, so that gets us back on track to look around Korban, Dresde, this place. Some questions, do you know this place? Do we have any more new questions before you became? Did you fight in the Mandalorian Wars with the Sith Empire? That seems new. That's bad. Tell me about your experience with the Sith Empire. The Mandalorian Wars had changed all of us. We were no longer the Jedi who had come to the aid of the Republic in its time of great need. We were greater. I was greater. Seems new. What was your role? Within the Sith Empire, I was your shadow, and had a hand-picked, highly trained professional assassin. Personal assassin. Or maybe it's not new. Hand-picked, highly trained, personal assassin. HK-47. Handpicked. As a Jedi and as a leader, you were perceptive enough to spot potential even in its most basic of forms. During this, our first meeting on Tatooine, it was the extent of my potential which appealed to you. Yet it was not until after the events of Taris that I was deemed worthy enough to further warrant your attention. From then on, I would frequently accompany you during those final months of the Mandalorian Wars. I was experienced, I was capable, and most important of all, I was loyal to you, Revan. And you only. After Malachor 5, I was chosen to serve as your personal assassin, your shadow. Highly trained! My experiences during the Mandalorian Wars had shaped me into a hardened warrior. Yet to be your shadow, it was not enough. I needed to be more. I needed to be greater. My devotion to serve your will was never itself questioned. The problem was that I lacked the means to exercise that devotion through my actions. So by your own hand I was trained in the ways of assassination and stealth through the endowment of ancient and forgotten techniques that originated from the Sith of old. Some of these techniques allowed me to render myself invisible, so to speak, whilst others gave me a means to kill my targets quickly and efficiently. Means or a mean. Ultimately, the purpose of this training was to shape me into a weapon, your weapon. Right. If that was true, you would have had just stealth as an option. More like stealth. Sneak attack. You could have had... How many levels does it take in here to get the sneak attack feature, class feature? 3, 2, 1? I don't know. However many, because we started at level 3 with her, and we could have leveled her up however we wanted. Or just cheat and give her a personalized, customized class that has sneak attack, so she can actually perform the duties of assassin. You're garbage. You're just a template. That's terrible. Like, seriously. Like, scoundrels should have at least half of a sneak attack. And personal assassin? As your shadow, I was a servant of your will, and always was it your will that I take life. During the time between missions, I would often serve aboard your ship as an aide. Alright, hey, aide! as your aid. This is the word that they used incorrectly in Brotherhood of Shadow part of this mod, instead of just aid without an E at the end. Oh my goodness, there's more. What missions did you undertake as my shadow? Those I have killed in my service to your will are too numerous to list. However, whilst a single death always held some significance, some were of more importance than others. Could you be more specific? One of those targets was an Echani senator named Krinis. Another was a twi'lek Jedi master named KotOR. Notice how those last names are not one syllable. Deviation from norm. Tell me about Krinis, the Echani senator. Krinis was an Echani senator who served as a strong advocate for his people's secession from Republic during the waning months of the Mandalorian Wars and after during the emergence of your Sith Empire. Whatever your reasons were, I do not know, but it was of an utmost importance to you that the Echani stay firmly within the Republic. I was thus dispatched to end his life and, by extension, any chance of an Echani secession coming into fruition. As an Echani, Krinis had chosen to focus his efforts on learning the politics of the Senate over the arts of combat, and so his senses were not as attuned to what lay within his surroundings as what one would usually expect from a member of his race. As a result, it proved relatively simple to track his movement across Coruscant as he made his way to his residence. Later that evening, Krinis died after he unknowingly consumed an untraceable poison. My mission was complete. Incidentally, a year later, the Chinese senator Yusanis, who was revered by his people for his leadership prior to and during the Mandalorian Wars, somehow learned of your hand in Krinis' death. There was no apostrophe there, and there's still not the text showing up on top of the screen. And challenged you to a duel. It was an encounter he did not survive. That name seems familiar. Does it appear in the second game? Maybe. And tracking his movement, that's not what a great warrior and a leader does. He doesn't cover his tracks or sneaks to his house. It's not about tracking him back to his house. You know where he lives, don't you? Just go there. You don't need to track him. Stay in his house as an assassin, invisible, and then poison him when you deem appropriate instead of trying to track him. Awful, terrible, bad writing. Tell me about KotOR, the twi'lek Jedi Master. KotOR was a revered twi'lek Jedi Master who served as watchman for the Outer Rim system Firago 6. As with all Jedi, especially the powerful ones, they needed to be turned to the dark side or removed. So I was tasked with her assassination. It would be the first time I would kill a Jedi, but it would not be the last. For weeks I observed KotOR whilst masking my presence using the Force. I needed to find weakness, something, anything that would work to my advantage when the time to strike finally came. I found no such weakness, and so I had to create a distraction. I arranged for a band of pirates to raid a nearby settlement. KotOR, as a Jedi, was naturally obliged to offer her aid to the villagers of the settlement in the ensuing battle? Ensured. Meanwhile, perched upon a cliff which overlooked the settlement, I waited with my sniper rifle. KotOR was distracted by her duty to protect the lives of the settlers, and so was focused only on the movements of the pirates who attacked them. It did not take long for me to find an opening. My shot hit its mark, and she fell. The mission was complete. KotOR was dead. Her Padawan had accompanied her to the settlement and was present during the moment of her death. I never learned of his identity, nor of his fate. Mentioning her Padawan is like an addition that doesn't really help. It wasn't warranted. It's not even important to the story. No one cared. Why are we bringing him at the end? Will he show up in the end or at some point in this mod? Maybe, maybe not. But I know I won't be alone. To quote the classics. Right, so that'll be it for now. Of course you are. Of course you are. So we are going out, and since we are playing Knights of the Old Republic, an RPG based on open gaming license, that has its roots or open gaming license for system reference document for D&D 3.5, or at least 3. The important part is D&D and RPG. So there was an OGL, Open Gaming License, and System Reference Document that allowed people to create their own content for the game as and sort of an expansion. We're going to be leveling these people up as well, because they gain a level. Allowed people to create their own content and publish it actually for the others to buy it and to add to their games, to the official game that's released by the Wizards of the Coast, you know, D&D. And the Open Gaming License has a clause, this is unmutable, irrevocable, and if you don't like the new OGL, you can still use whichever other that you prefer. So that happened, that existed in reality, right? And then D&D 4 came out and they didn't create an OGL.
Nice to see the Hawk still in one piece. Beauty of a ship, that.
Yes, it is. Should we be talking to him? We now might, since there's new content to experience in with the mods, so we just might. Who are you?
Oh, nobody special. I just do the routine maintenance work for the ships that come in. I used to see the Hawk here all the time.
He sounds Canadian. He just might be. Or he might be pretending to be distinguished. Distinguishable, at least. How do you know about the Urban Hawk?
Ah, I've seen this little ship before plenty of times. Used to make runs for the exchange, didn't it? Korriban's nice and remote. The kind of place the exchange likes. You don't need to worry about me saying anything. I don't give a whit what you do with your ship.
You are a Sith after all as well.
What the Hawk was made for, though.
Hey? Can I ask you some questions?
You sure can.
Are you Canadian? What can you tell me about Korriban's star map, the Sith Academy? Do you know how to reach the ruins on the surface? That seems standard, so let's just ask about the ruins.
You don't. Not unless you're a Sith in the Academy. They're the only ones allowed on the surface. They pay Zerka to ship things in and out, I guess, but that's all closely monitored.
That's all I wanted to know about, eh? About, eh? Right.
Yep. Take care now.
Right. I also would like to recommend you my short video recorded in Long Dark, I think the game is, where Jennifer Hale, Bastila Shan from this game, voices another character. Well, voices a character, a woman, that the main character is looking for, because both of you went flying a plane during a snowstorm and you crashed and she disappears, so he feels responsible, I guess, and looks for her. And they had a past together. They were a couple and now they're not anymore. They might be divorced, I don't remember. And Jennifer Hale, being Canadian, is free to speak Canadian, and it shows. So yeah, look it up. It's funny because you never hear her being Canadian. She always picks up British or American roles, because, you know, Americans have no actors. Henry Cavill, Jennifer Hale, fucking Christian Bale, the guy that played in Peaky Blinders, he's not American either. He played Scarecrow, he's not American either. Burry.
I'm just here on one of Zerka's transports. I
Sure.
don't have no business.
You're too low
Sith,
poly
right?
to be important. I think we need to talk to these people because they're new. Let's quick save. So RPG and OGL, and with D&D 3 and 3.5 you could just make things based on the gaming license, like whole D20 system, like this is, and shit like that. Pathfinder jumped off of D&D 3.5 using the open game license and creating their own system. And now D&D 5 exists and D&D 6 is on the horizon, is being tested already. So some executive, again, everyone sees the gaming industry and sees, wow, you can release your game for free instead of for $60 and charge them microtransactions that will make them spend more money than if they bought the title for $60 or $100. They're spending $5,000 on a free game and they didn't even notice, because they were also obfuscating the real cost of items with special currency that you can only buy in increments that will never let you spend the remainings on something else once you bought what you wanted, right? So people are just continually spending money on free things, and everyone is mad about that. Everyone that's not video games is mad about that. How can we tap into that? Can we sell movies piece by piece, piecemeal like that? Can we charge on episode basis? Can we charge on CG on special effect basis? Can we let people buy extra effects packs that makes the movie look better? Can we record a movie on green screens and then sell the background separately? No, but they will try. It already exists, right? Watching movies as a service already exists, so there's that. They charge monthly fee to watch movies, and physical things do that as well. Are mad as well. Can we piecemeal them a car? Tesla does it, yeah. And then some exec in D&D, in Wizard of the Coast, in Hasbro says, can we up monetize D&D because it's not because it's under monetized and we can earn more money off of it. So they're trying, and one of their moves was to change the open gaming license or release the new one. And the new gaming license said, let's try to level up someone in the meantime, right? So you're not looking at me standing in one place too much. They said, let's create a new open gaming license for the new system reference document, the D&D 5, and the next ones as well, right? So they say, this is the new one, and now anything that you make, we own. And if you earn too much money off of that, we're owed royalties. And you need to report to us how much money you're making off of that. And they're trying to tap into virtual tabletops, the people who are streaming their games, people who are writing supplements for the game, doing homebrew and house rules, so that they can tap into that for free. And everyone's mad about that. I'm not too much. Not really, because also they bought D&D Beyond, which is a game that it was like a publisher, but now it's part of them, so they can do whatever they want. And they offered subscription, they sold books, they offered digital tools to play D&D. That existed, and now they bought that. They wanted they wanted to create a VTT as a part of that. They offered subscription to allow you to share your books that you bought through this publisher with your campaign, having more campaigns. Oh, more things. Hold on. Oh, we're demolition because we're low on that. Share your books, have more slots for your characters, have more slots for campaign. What is that? Bonus on demolition stealth. Extra vitality point. Demolition stealth. Yeah, like you can max out the droid because we're 4 things left, and it's like, well, maybe you can't max it out. You'll get a bonus feat anyway. Maybe you can. You might be short, or max it all out. So pick those that are more important, and then you won't be missing out. I mean, skills are more missable, right? Than like 1 vitality point for each level. So it's like for 20 levels, it's like 20 more hit points. That's not that much. And damage resist, no, that's interesting. So it's like more, so like 80 more hit points effectively. Not that important, but it exists. So more levels because we're level 15. Oh, we're gonna max them out. Right, of course, intelligence. I'm pretty sure we're level 16. Yeah, it's still fine. Intelligence, of course, because we won't more dexterity won't help, because we'll still have flat. Because it will still be rounded down. Constitution is the same, wisdom the same, charisma, nothing will help. So just intelligence, just pump intelligence. All right. Skills. Awareness. No feats this time. And so they released the new ones, and everyone's mad, especially the publishers, because now they won't be able to live off of that. Again, new thing shows up. And someone is forced to change their job. There are people who do worse jobs, they are worse off, and they need to change their jobs, rebrand, retrain, to do something else, to start over, because they had to. And they're in a worse situation than you. And you, in your luxurious time of being able to just dick about in home brews for your hobby, earning money off of that, you're now forced to get a real job. And you're mad about mad about needing to do that. Like, I understand that I would be mad as well if I needed to do something else that requires more effort and earns me less money than what I was doing up until now. But it's a real issue for everyone. It can happen to everyone. It happens to people who are worse off. So you don't get to complain, really. There's that. Now, again, that's the matter that the OGL says that you owe, that Wizards of the Coast own everything you come up with and owe you nothing back for that. It's sort of like Valve, actually, and Steam, because they missed out on Dota and something else as well, because someone just made a mod. And made the mod and used the Steam and Valve's assets to create a mod and make a new game. And they were missing out on sales on that, so they changed things around, and now when you're doing anything for Valve, they own it as well. So if you make a mod and you create a game off of their on their platform and off of their assets, they own it and they can monetize it for themselves as well. So that's cool for them. Yeah, stealth. Can I stealth up even more? No, at least we're on max. Because you're an assassin, but you don't have sneak attack. Thank you, thank you. I could be using the... Is it critical? Doesn't matter. Hardly matters. And right, now with her force powers, I can go with this, because we're not going to stasis, because we're doing this. So choke, crush force, lightning. No more lightning, hey, for this character, because she's dealing damage with her sword. This could be useful, but... Let's keep stunning enemies. More powers? Hold on, back. No, just one. So OGL says that everything, like Valve, like Steam, was doing, except. Cool.
Yes?
Yes. So they wanted to capitalize on that, and they're trying to have a monopoly on it, really. And everyone's mad. They're cancelling their subscriptions on D&D Beyond, which is also interesting story because D&D Beyond took down a service for maintenance and rewritten code so that the option to unsubscribe is hidden way deep, somewhere obscure. They can't not let you unsubscribe. They can make it hard for you so that you don't, and when you have, it's a hassle to do it, so you'll stay subscribed. Because they don't like that they're losing money, so they make it harder for you to keep it and lose it, for them to lose it. And also there is a talk on the inside of Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast that the players, the people, are just an obstacle in the way for them of getting money off of you, right? So that's very pro-consumer. And with that, like we need to talk to the guard or someone else. We're gonna try to eliminate things.
Greetings. You wouldn't happen to be looking for a prospect for the academy, would you?
I guess not.
You're a Sith, right?
Yep.
Excuse me.
Excuse you.
One of Korriban's primary...
You're so lucky. You got accepted into the academy, didn't you?
Yep.
I'm beginning to think I never will.
I was accepted as a leader of the fucking whole thing, actually, yeah. Chukka Guard, does he have any
Well, this is a Sith colony. They're the law here. I'm here only to protect Zerka's interests.
Why are you wearing the Sith uniform then? That's wrong. Is he Churk as well? Yep. Why are they wearing Sith uniforms? Hello.
Greetings. If you haven't heard, there's some trouble over at the academy. A power struggle, most likely.
Yeah. Churk and Korban. Some questions about the colony.
Certainly.
Colony map, Sith Academy, ruins of the surface. Yeah, I guess this dude is our next thing, our next stop. So, subscription, right? So first thing, just like with another thing, just like with Patreon, what happens is they're increasing the fees, and as always, as I always say, you will cry and buy. You will keep crying and keep buying the product. It doesn't matter that something got more expensive. You keep buying the product and keep crying. You won't go for the cheaper alternative. You won't go for a different alternative altogether. Like instead of dropping the car for the gas prices, you'll go ride a bike or a bus. You'll keep buying the gas. You keep buying gas. You keep buying your cars and you keep driving. It's not even that you buy a more economical car. No, you'll keep driving your luxurious, power-hungry, fuel-hungry car, and you'll keep crying that the gas prices are high. You'll be fat, the food prices will go up, and you keep buying and keep crying that you can't stuff your gullet, instead of, cutting down, slimming down, getting healthy, spending less on this, right? So people will keep spending money on the subscription and on the books. Like, again, the next D&D edition is just coming out. You will buy it. You'll just buy it. You'll just buy the books because you want to play the next D&D. And they're upping the prices for the subscription on D&D Beyond is one thing. And they're doing it like Patreon is suggesting you do. Patreon suggested, don't put your minimum subscription at $1. Put it at $2. Even if you lose half of the people, you still earn the money, earn the same money. So you'll most likely not lose half of the people, but you'll already be earning more money than if you went for the bare minimum. And that's what they're doing now as well. They're upping the fee way more. So even though half of the people are gonna quit D&D Beyond, they will still earn the same amount of money. And then everyone will forget, and they'll earn even more. And people are now up at arms about this. Rightfully so, from the consumer point of view. But I think I would love to see the world burn and see Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast not back down. They actually are in the process of backing down right now. Like, not those press releases where they say, no, you misunderstood us and you're lying about that. This is not what the legal document is about, even though it is actually. This is not lying for PR reasons. They're actually backing down now, a little bit, I think. But I would way prefer to see all those simps continue to spend money on that. Like, there's Pathfinder, who just came out with their open gaming license that's better than D&D's. There are other systems that are just available that you can play, other games. There are D&D's editions that you can go back to. They're better, they're already free, and you can play them under better OGL as well. Like D&D 3, again, the better version, the better game, is free. It's not being published, and the only way to play it is to pirate it. Is second-hand books or actually piracy. Like, again, system reference document is open, is in the public. You can just pull that up and play D&D 3. It's a better game. Nothing's stopping you. Just do it. You're worried about morality and ethics and pirating it? It's free. It's open. It's not published anymore. They're not losing money for it. Just do it. You dumb bitch. You simp for corporations. Like, dude. Simping for women is one thing. Simping for corporations, next level. Play D&D 3. It's free and it's better and it has a better OGL. Like, you played D&D 5 already. The baby steps are behind you. Play the more advanced game. Do it. So yeah, that happens. And I'd rather see the corporation not back down and watch the Sims lose all their money over their things and keep buying the shit. Anyway, just like I mentioned when war on Ukraine was going on, Ukraine and Russia, where Russia is now the invader, and once the war is going to be over, I can't wait for the United Nations, for NATO, and for European Union to just renew their trade with Russia, because the war is over now and we can just forget about it, right? We can put it behind us and create a better future by cooperation. No, zero consequence. Just go to war, dude. What are they gonna do? Complain? Like at the beginning again, more standing in one place. This is a podcast after all. The whole channel is. At the beginning, European Union came up with sanctions for Russia, and then the war continued, and they said, we need more sanctions, and they found more sanctions, which begs the question, why haven't you brought that up the first time around? Why the sanctions weren't good enough the first time around? You really needed more space? You needed like a leeway for Russia to keep trading with so you can earn money? Is that it? Because it seems like it. Right, so D&D is fucking itself over, and I'd love for it to fuck you over and then fuck itself over as well. And what are you gonna do about it? Nothing. People are oh right, I think this is the last thing. This game, Knights of the Old Republic, is on the Open Gaming license, as is Pathfinder and some other games, and people were trying to fearmonger you into caring about it more by saying these games are all on Open Game license, so they will go after these and they will make you not being able to play it anymore, or go after the developers to earn money off of them. And so of course with that thinking, it's obvious that the developers will throw the costs over at the consumers. So you need to stop it for us. You need to save our hobby. You're playing Knights of the Old Republic, you need to stop and you need to go complain to D&D, right? Obviously. No, that's not how it works. Again, like I said, you can't go back on your agreement like that. That's not how it works. Law doesn't work backwards. The previous OGL said that you can keep using the previous OGL if the new one changes, and they're using it for D&D 3, not D&D 5. So you have no argument here. The streamers won't be affected, the games won't be affected, Pathfinder won't be affected. Only you, subscribing to D&D Beyond and making content easily, lazily, and for big money, are affected. Go fuck yourself. I already played a better game, D&D 3. It's your problem. Die. Right, so that will pretty much be it for today. Let's talk to the Churka guard, since he is new here, see what he's got to say, prolong the episode for 50 minutes, and then we'll be off.
Access to the civilian quarters in the Zerka mining facility is temporarily restricted whilst this door is under maintenance.
Right, so not talking to him yet. So I guess in the bar, and that will be it for today, actually. Thanks for sticking by, hopefully you enjoyed all the rants. Interact with this video and every other video on my channel, preferably by watching, and of course, by sharing it with everyone else. Someone's moaning, and if you don't like the content, it's entirely your fault.